Dearest Homs and Nopon representatives, my humble gratitude for accepting our invitation. I am Callian Antiqua, Regent of the High Entia.
We all know who you are. You High Entia have kept yourselves safe, remaining spectators to our destruction. Why call upon us now?
As stated in my invitation, it is our intention to form an allied force from the peoples of Bionis, with which we will confront Mechonis.
Look at you. One little scratch and you're already crying for help.
I cannot deny this. The attack did serve as the catalyst, but the fact remains that things have changed.
When we needed help at the Battle of Sword Valley, our cries were ignored. Give me one good reason why we should bother. Huh?
I understand your anger. Our selfishness was inexcusable. However, please hear what I have to say. Listen to why our stance has changed.
Stop talking if you like, but no promises we'll stick around till the end.
We High Entia were mistaken. We believed that if we were attacked by the Mechon, our power alone could repel them. But a brave group of young heroes showed us the error of our ways. When the Mechon descended upon Aerith Sea, Shulk fought with a courage I have never seen. I was most surprised to see that this group was comprised of different races. Homs, Nopon, High Entia. Although different, they trusted one another as friends. As just one inhabitant of Bionis, I desired to... No, I felt compelled to become strong like them.
Their strength came from the Monado. Bravery only gets you so far in this world.
Then you will not join us?
Hold your horses, son. I said they didn't win with bravery alone, but they wouldn't have got far without it. All right. You can count on our help.
The Nopon will join too. The Hum-Hum and Bird people are friends of the Nopon. We will fight together.
Dixon, are you leaving?
Yeah. It's just I felt this sudden pain in the neck.
Is that your response?
Don't go jumping the gun there, Prince. I'll leave the colony's forces with old Atharon here. You can use them however you want. I've got somewhere I need to be.
Might I ask where?
A battle's more than just a head-on assault. The sooner you realize that, the better. I better go and remind Shulk and all.
So you know of their whereabouts?
I told you. I've got a pretty good idea.
Dixon!
Yeah?
If you should meet Shulk,
What?
I have something I want you to tell him.
You want us to kill your son? That is no small request.
There are hardly any of us Machina left on Mechonis. Back when the Bionis and the Mechonis were fighting, the Bionis almost completely wiped us out. I suppose the Bionis just didn't want us around. Lady Mayneth fought the Bionis for us. In the end, the two Titans wounded each other and entered a deep slumber.
Who was Lady Mayneth?
The creator of Mechonis. You could say that she is the Mechonis itself.
You talk like you saw all this. Ain't this all just an ancient myth?
I know I look young, but I'm actually quite old. I saw the whole thing with my own eyes.
You can't be serious.
The people of Mechonis must have a longer lifespan. Just like we High Entia live far longer than Homs.
I get that, but he can't have lived that long.
But why do you want your son dead? From what you've told us, I would have thought you'd want us to destroy the Bionis rather than kill your own son.
Agil was a brilliant young man. Clever, strong, and kind to the less able. But he never forgave the Bionis for what it did, and he swore to take revenge.
So he wants to do to us what the Bionis did to the Machina?
Correct. Agil is trying to eradicate all innocent life on Bionis. He has to be stopped.
Didn't you ever try to stop him?
We tried once. A lot of people were killed. He's blinded by revenge. Even Lady Mayneth herself couldn't convince him to stop.
Where is Egil now?
Most likely the Mechonis capital. He's trying to restore its former glory all by himself.
I feel sorry for him.
Oi! What are you talking about? Did you forget what he did to us?
I haven't forgotten or forgiven. But Egil's clearly suffered a lot in his life. You don't feel any sympathy at all?
All I know is, this stinks. Who cares what he's been through?
Rhine!
I understand about Egil. But why us? You should be aware that Shulk's sword, the Monado, has the power to destroy Mechonis weaponry. It's said that it was once the sword of the Bionis. Doesn't the very sight of it make you quiver?
Xanta.
Huh?
Oh, just talking to myself. If you're gonna kill Egil, you'll need all of that sword's power. That's how strong Egil is. But enough talk. You must be tired. Take your time and think it over. Until the young lady's treatment is finished, feel free to spend time in our village.
She has done well to survive such injury.
What do you mean? Is she sick?
Since you seem to have knowledge of Hom's medicine, I'll explain it like this. I'm afraid she's had several of her organs removed. Am I correct in assuming she was configured to operate inside a Mechon?
That's right.
She has been transformed into a Mecon's central nerve unit. Her blood can now circulate through a Mecon's components.
How?
I believe her immune system is now configured for compatibility with the Mechon. That's why her strength has depleted.
But you can treat her, can't you? Please.
Of course. Even as a Mechana doctor, I cannot turn a blind eye to this butchery. With our equipment, she will regain her strength, but she will be stuck with this body. I cannot restore her flesh and blood Hom's body.
That's okay. I don't want to be a burden to Shulk. I don't care if I have a machine body. Just make it so I can fight beside him.
Fiora, leave it to me. If that is your wish, I'll do my best. I must implant a new circulation system for her immune functions. But we have one problem.
A problem?
I don't have a piezoelectric unit, which is required to control such a system. As long as she remains on this bed, the life support machine can compensate. But to move around freely, she must have the piezoelectric unit. The same unit is used in Mechon, so if you were to find some Mechon parts...
But where?
Well, outside of the village at the base of Digit 5, there's a beach. Debris from above washes ashore there. You might be able to find one among the Mechon wreckage.
We'll take a look. The beach at the base of Digit 5, right?
Yes. It gives off a faint red glow, so it might be easier to find at night.
Welcome back to Xenoblade Definitive Edition. My name's Mr. Bacon Bits, and today is all about Fiora. We're gonna help find a new piezoelectric unit for her to stabilize her body. As you can see, for visiting Mikal, a bunch of quests have opened up for a couple of areas that we've been to already. At this point, as well, skip travel is now available for every area. I don't know why I keep going to the High Entia tomb. But yes, we can go back to anywhere on Bionis now, even if it doesn't make sense. In fact, if we were to head back to Galahad Fortress, specifically the area where we fought Egil. Okay, it says I cannot enter that area, but I'm pretty sure... Should be right around here. You can see that we can fall down from here. Funny thing about this is it doesn't act like any other bottomless pit. If we fall down, even though we can't see anything down below, it brings us to this beach on the Fallen Arm. It's an interesting world connection, even though it's something you wouldn't use normally, especially since you can't skip travel directly there. So anyway, you probably want to have Fiora and Charlotte back in your party, right? So let's go get that unit. Go ahead and skip travel back here. And, oh boy, why is it raining? Let's just go ahead and exit this village. I'm gonna stay at... yeah, I'm gonna stay as this party. And from what we can see on the map, we need to head north. But what looks like a passageway over there, where I'm pointing to on the map, it's actually locked. So the only way forward is to go around outside the village. So let's go ahead and do that. Just a little jaunt around here. Lampoponios, they're kind of notable here because they actually have Quickstep 4 crystals, which, if you're good with gem crafting, you can actually make level 5 Quickstep gems. Pretty powerful stuff. Let's go ahead and fight these guys. Okay. Took a bit. Melly actually died in that battle, so that's not a good sign. But we'll be taking care of our equipment stuff soon. At any rate, heading to Digit 5, we just need to cross this river over here. So let's go ahead and do that. You know, I've kind of noticed something. It always seems to rain right about now. In-game. I wonder if it's actually programmed to do that. Because it happened before in a test playthrough. And happened even in the original game, too. Kind of wonder about that. Alright. Can I get past that? Yeah. Alright, here we go. Digit 5 Beach. Let's go ahead and take care of this guy. Okay, we've got a problem here. Get rid of this guy quick. Alright. Okay, they just lost interest. That works. At any rate, as I said before, we're at the Digit 5 Beach. What we need is right over there, but some Mechon are guarding it.
Let's go! You dare challenge hero.
Come on.
Display no mercy. Summon Earth. Crush power.
Okay, they are not unique monsters. That's the one that I'm wary about. Alright, there we go.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay, since I have to deal with avoiding that unique monster, let's do some loring.
Follow my lead. I expect nothing short of our very
Come on.
best.
Stay right here.
Time is coming.
I shall focus all my ether energy.
That.
Pretty good battle.
But we cannot
Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab this thing quick. Piezoelectric Unit. There's something I want to make note of. We're actually close to something here. Over here. Black wreckage. Recognize this thing? This is Metalface. But curiously, Mumcar isn't around. Like, not even a body to be found. Huh. Anyway, now that we have the unit, we can just skip travel to the village, since that'll be quicker. And just give the unit to Linata. Alright, here we go. Easy enough.
How are you?
How did it go? Did you find the unit?
I think we found it. Is this the Piezoelectric Unit?
Yes, that's it. Well done.
Linada, will Fiora be okay now?
She'll be fine. It will just take me a little time to reconfigure and install the unit. Leave it to me. You get some rest.
But...
Shulk, do you want her to see you looking exhausted when she wakes up?
You're right. I'll try and get some rest. Thank you for everything you're doing.
By the way...
Yes?
The chief says he wants to speak with you. I think it's about Egil.
I'll go and see him. He wants Egil stopped. And so do we. But I need to sleep on it.
Good. You mustn't overburden yourself. We will help you in any way we can.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How are you? Sleep well?
Yes, very well. I wanted to, talk about your son.
Have you made up your mind?
Yes. We agree with you. Egil must be stopped. But we can't act now.
Oh? Why's that?
Before we came here, we heard of plans to form an allied force on Bionis. Any day now, they're going to launch an attack on Mechonis. But it's too dangerous. Egil has made a weapon that could kill us all.
The weapon that Mumcar was using? The one that shoots green fluid?
He said it can decompose any being from Bionis.
We have to go back and warn them, before it's too late.
Well, you could always ask me to do it.
Dixon! What are you doing here? I can't believe you found us.
Why? This place is directly below the fortress. If you fell from up there, I figured you must have ended up here. And Bob's your uncle.
You're looking well, Dixon.
Ah, I see you're looking like your usual old self.
You know each other?
Kinda.
I scratch his back. He scratches mine. He tells us about the outside world, and we give him technology and information.
Why did you keep that to yourself? That information is vital to all who fight Mechonis.
Not all of us Homs are good people. What would happen if the Mechonis-hating types found this place? These Machina cut themselves off from the world to get away from pointless fighting.
So they escaped to live in peace. Somewhere they wouldn't be seen. Makes sense.
Clever little crown princess, ain't ya?
So this is where you obtained all that stuff you brought back to Colony 9. I wondered where you were getting it from.
I thought it was fine as long as it helped Shulk out at the lab. I guess the secret's out now. So, that weapon. How dangerous are we talking about?
I haven't discovered why, but it disintegrates anything it touches. But only if it's living tissue from Bionis.
Bet that would come in handy.
Dixon!
I'm only joking. Anyway, for now, just don't let any of it touch you. I'll come up with something to counter it. Leave it with me and I'll keep you posted. You lot go and take care of that Eagle or whatever his name is. If you take him down, the Allied force might not even be needed.
Okay. Let me think about it for a bit. Fiora.
Ain't made your mind up yet?
Dixon, listen.
Dunban told me all about it. The goal of your mission. So, you wanted to avenge Fiora?
Yes.
But you found her alive. And now you've got her back. So, you're all done now, ain't you?
What are you fighting for, Dixon?
Me? He just gets right under my skin. That Egil guy.
Because he's trying to exterminate the Homs?
There's that. But that ain't everything. It's his hatred for the Bionis. Or more like his aim to wipe out everything that lives on the Bionis. I'll tell you one thing. That Bionis allied force is coming together quicker than I thought.
Really?
Yep. That high-end-tier prince is really moving things along.
Will they launch an attack on Mechonis?
Of course. But it looks like the prince has got another plan. He gave me a message for you. When the allied force attacks Mechonis, you don't need to join the fight. He wants you to take advantage of the chaos and do what it is you need to do.
Prince Callian said that?
I was pretty surprised too. He looks like a sissy, but he's got guts.
Yeah. I think that's the type of man he is.
So, what are you gonna do? He wanted me to let him know.
We're going to the Mechonis capital.
You're gonna take down Egil?
I don't know. I can't forgive the Mechon for what they've done. But after listening to Mikkel, I think there might be another way.
You're too soft.
Do you really think that?
Too right. He's the self-proclaimed leader of Mechonis. I heard about what he did to the Monado. If you face him, it might get eaten up. But you have to throw everything at him. Even if there's only a slim chance of winning. Hesitate for 1 second, and you're a goner.
We won't let Shulk die. Not ever.
Fiora, are you okay to be walking around?
Yep.
I have to hand it to her. That Lenada's pretty good. And not just with machines. She's also quite familiar with organic physiology.
You went to get the things you needed to cure me, right? I'm sorry I caused all this hassle. But I'm fine now. I'll be by your side, fighting to protect you. No matter where we go, no matter how difficult it gets, Shulk will do the right thing. It doesn't matter how slim our chances. Shulk will always stick to the right path.
And don't forget, it's because of Shulk that we are all here, fighting together. I think that shows he has a strong character. Am I wrong, Dixon?
Well, when I think about everything you lot have done, I can't deny that.
Dixon, we're going to the Mechonis capital. About the Allied force.
Yeah, leave it to me. I ain't gonna let anything happen to the colony. Those Mechon won't get away with anything else.
Are you going?
Yes. Thank you for all your help.
You might run into someone called Vinaya in the capital. Just mention my name, she'll lend a hand.
Vinaya?
Is she a Machina as well?
She's my daughter. She won't be far from Egil.
Hold on. You mean she's Egil's sister?
You've got it, lad.
And you say she'll help us?
The girl doesn't want to hurt Egil, but she doesn't like what he's doing. She should be a big help to you young'uns.
I don't know why she'd help us, but we'll try and find her when we get there.
Good luck.
Fiora, don't forget. I've only made temporary repairs. I think you should be able to fight, but don't overdo it. Come and see me the moment you experience any further system failure.
I will. Thank you.
In the meantime, I'm hoping I'll find a way to restore your former body.
Is that possible?
Theoretically, it might be possible to use your genetic information to regenerate your missing organs. Sorry, it's unfair for me to give you hope. To be honest, there's very little chance. But if there's even the slightest possibility, I'll have to try.
Thank you, Leonarda.
Fiora.
Don't make that face. Okay, let's go.
Off you go, kid. I'm counting on you and the Monado. Don't let me down, Shulk.
Why did that face betray me? And that light? No, that is not possible. It must have been remnants of memories from her former life that made me lose control. Memories. They are what limited the potential of Metalface as well. I now know that I must erase every last trace of what they once were. All my servants need is the instinct to fight. This Hom's female. She was with the boy who wields the Monado. A light of her memory. It shines strongly in this one. Bring me face 20814. So it is this male. The boy Shulk remains a thorn in my side. I will enjoy watching my minion crush him. Be still, my servant. I see that your memories cause you much suffering.
Shulk, take this.
What is it?
There's a path leading from the base of Digit 2 to the foot of the Mechonis. This is the security key to the door that seals the path. We who live in the village don't have any need for it. but it will be invaluable to you.
We're in your debt, Linada.
Shulk, Fiora, take care on your journey.
We will.
Linada, thank you for everything.
Alright, that was exciting. Looks like Sharla's husband is still alive, technically. I wonder if we can rescue him like we did with Fiora. And it's entirely possible. Anyway, let's finally get Fiora as the leader. And I'm gonna do Shulk and Melia. Awkward love triangle ahoy. But, anyway, reason why is because we're gonna play as her for a bit because it's long overdue. As well as cover her arts and skills. Fiora's gimmick is to be pretty nearly completely customizable. Thanks to Mechon armor that only she can wear, not only can she be adapted to any role you want with her, but even her talent art changes. There's 4 different types of armor for her. Ether, which improves ether defense and attack. Attack, which improves physical attack. Speed, which improves agility. And Power, which increases defense. She can also freely attack Mechon without the need for enchant or anti-Mechon weaponry, so that's also a good thing. She even has an aura that can heal, so she doesn't even need other ether users to keep her health up. But as for the talent art, it changes depending on the foot armor you equip. Cannon drones, which is what she has right now, deals ether damage in a straight line. Gun drones is a 6-hit ether damage combo. Sword drones is a 10-hit physical combo on a single enemy. And shield drones basically acts like Shulk's Monado shield, providing debuff immunity as well at higher levels. These talent arts have higher levels depending on the drones you equip, so keep that in mind with her. Her talent art takes a bit to recharge, but she has the benefit of rapid auto attacks with her dual blades. You can totally set her up to be a talent art spammer by focusing in on her auto attack capabilities if you so choose. So with that, let's do a deep dive on her arts. As I mentioned, her talent art changes depending on the type of drones you equip on her. One of her starting arts is Double Blade. This is similar to Shulk's Backslash, where the power actually triples if done on an enemy's back. It also fills some of the party gauge if done so. Next is the Spear Blade. This physical art actually triples in damage and fills some of the party gauge if used on a toppled enemy. Next is Cross Impact. This is her Daze art. It inflicts daze on toppled enemies. Pretty standard. Healing Energy is next. This is an aura that cures her of all debuffs and grants her the Regenerate buff, where she regains a set amount of HP every 3 seconds. Why is it raining a lot? Next is Zero Gravity. This is an ether art that hits around her and inflicts paralysis on any enemy it hits, if it doesn't have resistance to it. If it hits a toppled enemy, it fills her talent gauge by 25%. If you can somehow manage to topple multiple enemies at the same time, oh, this is a fantastic way to fill her talent gauge. Next is Ether Drain. It's an ether art that drains 20% of the targeted enemy's ether stat and adds it to her own. If any other enemy is hit during the attack, it drains an additional 5% per enemy. This art is really beneficial if you set her up to be an ether user. Air Fang is her next art. This is her break art and hits twice. Only the second hit can inflict breaks, so make sure that lands. Moving on to arts that she doesn't start with, we have Double Wind. You're likely to have this one by now anyway, but she learns it at level 42. It's a physical art that strikes in an arc in front of her, and increases her attention upon landing the hits. Second Gear is her next one, learned at level 43. Again, likely something you'll already have. This is an ether art that buffs her physical arts damage by 50% for 5 seconds. Leveling it up only decreases its cooldown time. Since her ether stat doesn't affect this art's usefulness and it's a straight buff, this can go great with a powerhouse attacking build. Lock On is her next art. It does what you think it might do. It's an aura that causes lock on to the targeted enemy, preventing them from changing targets. However, this also increases her crit rate by 50%, and her talent gauge will be filled slightly every time she's hit by the targeted enemy. This art is learned by level 46. Next is Magstorm. Yes, this is another Daze art. This hits all enemies surrounding her, but the Daze is specifically against toppled Mechon. This can be good for the areas up ahead, since Mechon is all we'll be fighting for a while. This is learned at level 49. Next is Shutdown. It's a physical debuff art learned at level 52, and has a chance to inflict sleep on the enemy. If used on Mechon, it can remove all buffs and debuffs on it. Be wary of when to use it, in case you have any debuffs you want to keep on said Mechon. Next is Guard Shift. Not to be confused with Rhine's version, this aura art is learned at level 55 and blocks all physical attacks, cutting damage from them by 50%. As a downside, it cuts her own physical attacks by 25%, so this is purely a defensive measure. Similar to Ether Drain, we have Power Drain. Learned at level 58, this drains 20% of the target's strength and adds it to her own, adding an additional 5% with every new enemy caught in the attack radius. Next is Speed Shift. This is learned at level 61 and is an aura that grants her haste, which increases her auto attack speed. Her rate of double attack is also increased by 25%, though at the cost of 25% physical defense. This can be used for said auto attack talent art build, but be careful. Finally is Final Cross. This is a super attack that hits 4 times in a wide radius in front of her, and forces topple on any enemy caught in the 4th hit. This is why she has arts that affect multiple toppled enemies. This one is learned via story progress, not level, and unfortunately can only be used at very high tension. Even then, it also has a lengthy cooldown as well. But because of that, you may want to buff its attack strength just to make it more useful. Just keep in mind that it's an ether attack, and it can be buffed with electric plus gems. So yeah, interestingly enough, Fiora gets all her arts fairly quickly from when you first get her. They really want to push her customizability from the get-go. Alright, now to move on to her skill trees. Everybody has something new. Probably because of Fiora. Anyway, her starting skill trees are Courage, Zeal, and Daring. The reason why I have some of these skills already is because these are the skills that she started with, and so she should actually have any learned skills from the beginning still in here. At any rate, starting with Courage, selecting it will improve her critical hit rate. And it comes with Mechonis equipment, which simply allows her to equip special Mechonis armor. In the beginning of the game, this was just medium equipment. Next is Desperate Daggers. It increases her counterattack rate by 15% when her HP is at half or lower. Next is Second Wind. This increases the amount of HP restored when revived by 20%. This skill is exclusive to her and can't be linked. The icon just means that any party member can revive her for 20% more HP than normal. Next is Ultimate Strike. This increases damage of crit hits by 20%. This can be good if used on any party member with high crit rate, especially Fiora with her lock-on art. Finally is Unwavering Courage. It fills party gauge by 50 if both her allies are incapacitated. This can be helpful if you need to revive them in a pinch, but purely only that. I would not recommend fighting enemies by yourself, unless you're much higher level. Moving on to the Daring skill tree. This skill tree increases her strength when selected. The first skill is Battle Stance, which grants a 75% chance to give her a 15% strength up buff at the start of battle. Next is Opening Blow. This increases the damage of the first strike in battle by 50%. Couple this with a back attack from Shulk, Fiora, or Ricky, and this could potentially nuke a lot of enemies. Especially if you power up your attacks beforehand. Next is Nimble Feet. This simply increases movement speed by 4%. This can be linked to others. The effects stack on top of Ricky's movement speed skill, as well as Quick Step gems. Next is Physical Resilience. This reduces physical damage taken by 10%. Link this to Ryan to further his defensive capabilities. Finally is Showdown Stance. This increases all stats temporarily when starting a battle against higher level monsters. Her final starting skill tree is Zeal. Prioritizing this will improve her maximum HP. Her first skill is Desperate Defense, which boosts block rate by 15% when HP is at half or less. Next is Swift Strike. It gives a 20% chance of granting haste for 30 seconds at the start of battle. Next is Acceleration. This boosts experience gained from battles by 20%. If you need quicker level ups, you can link this to others. Next is Strength of Will, which grants haste for 15 seconds for the entire... Next is Strength of Will, which reduces ether damage taken by 10%. Finally is Strong Links, which grants haste for 15 seconds for the entire party by succeeding in a Burst Affinity battle start prompt. Moving on to gem crafting. Her shooter ability, let me just do this. Her shooter ability is Cylinder Plus, where crafting begins with 3 full cylinder gauges. This is extremely helpful if you need to get specific traits out of crystals. It's pretty much it. And her Engineer has her great with medium flame, but terrible with the others. Okay, so we've finally got Fiora fully covered. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the shop offers.
What do you need?
There's a load of new stuff we can use. It's mostly for Fiora, though. Considering you might have the anti-Mechon weaponry from Sword Valley and haven't upgraded, the weapons here are pretty much just straight upgrades. And they still damage Mechon, so get them all if you want. There's also mostly... And, of course, armors. They're mostly for Fiora. They don't have an ether set because that's actually what Fiora is already equipped with. So let's get into each new armor piece and weapon and see what they look like. So for the weapons, we have Sparrow Blades for Fiora, Machina Staff for Melia, Machina Garter for Rhine, Machina Biter for Ricky, Machina Sword for Dunban, Machina Rifle for Sharla, and finally Murder Knives for Fiora. As you can see with the pop-ups, these weapons for Fiora are missable in terms of weapon skins, so get them. But in terms of actual usability, I would go for Murder Knives because it's a slotted weapon. So anyway, for torso, we have... for headgear, we have Speed Goggles, Attack Goggles, Power Goggles, Orion Cap, Soloist's Goggles, Quadrille Goggles, and Etoile Goggles. These last 3 are unique armor skins for Fiora exclusive to Definitive Edition. As you'll see with the rest of the parts, they are armor pieces designed to make her look more sleek and futuristic looking. They certainly have a Xenoblade X vibe, or even sort of look like Cosmos. For torso, we have Speed Frame, Attack Frame, Stellar Armor, Power Frame, Orion Top, Soloist's Frame, Quadrille Frame, and Etoile Frame. For arms, we have speed arms, attack arms, power arms, Orion gloves, soloist's arms, quadrille arms, and etoile arms. For legs, we have speed boosters, attack boosters, stellar leggings, power boosters, Orion bottoms, soloist's boosters, quadrille boosters, and etoile boosters. For feet, we have Freyja drones, which gives Fiora the gun drones 1 talent art, Orion shoes, soloist's drones, which gives her the cannon drones 1 talent, quadrille drones, which gives her the shield drones 1 talent, and etoile drones, which gives her the sword drones 1 talent. For art manuals, we got a bunch of new ones, for all party members except for Shulk and Brine. Might as well invest in those. Whatever you choose for Fiora, I'll let you decide. I'm personally going to go with an attack set right now, and make her out to be a bit of a glass cannon. I'll show the specifics in the next video, so with that said, I think it's about time to end this video. This has been Mr. Bacon Bits with Xenoblade Definitive Edition. Stay safe, happy and healthy, and on the next video, we'll be doing a small bit of preparation before we make our way onto the Mechonis looming overhead. See you guys later.